Welcome to the Clarity Advisor Show, where you'll learn how to grow your team today. Join Ken Trupke and his guests as they discuss what works and doesn't work to grow your team in today's world. And now, your host, Ken Trupke.
Hello again, and welcome to the Clarity Advisor Show. And we're getting back into those in-person events, those lunch presentations, and those multi-day conferences where you're going to want to do some networking. And I know you're thinking, oh, I hate networking. It brings to mind those mixers where insurance agents and financial advisors are running around handing out business cards and invading your personal space. And it can be that way, but it doesn't have to be. I've got 10 tips for you today to help you reframe networking into a positive experience and help you network the right way. All right, tip number one is my number one tip. It's a big one. It's be friendly. Yeah, be friendly. Go to networking events with the objective of making friends. Stop worrying about whether or not the person you're talking to is a good prospect. Who knows who their sister-in-law is? Who knows who their neighbor is? They might connect you with a huge prospect or customer down the road, but you don't need to know that right now. You just need to make friends. Take the pressure off yourself and start smiling and making eye contact and being open. Do the things that friends would do. Just be friendly. You're not there to do deals. You're there to meet people and make connections. So be friendly. Tip number one. All right, tip number two, be curious. Find out about that other person. How do we know if we want to be friends with someone? Well, we find out if we have shared interests. And how do you find out if you have shared interests? Well, you need to get them to reveal some things to you, and you do that through questions. So have genuinely curious questions ready. One of my favorites is, how did you get started in that? Inevitably, the beginning of the conversation is going to be, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? After they tell you what they do, say, wow, that's really interesting. How did you get started in that? There's always a story, and it's usually pretty interesting. And most people don't need much encouragement to keep talking. And they're going to feel better about you and the conversation the more talking they do. So ask them questions. Be genuinely curious. And speaking of genuine, that's tip number three. Be genuine. People can tell if you're only there to get and get for you and everything for your own benefit. So approach networking as a way to build meaningful connections, to make friends, not just as a means to an end to find clients and prospects. So number three, listen more than you talk. Again, people are going to feel better about the conversation the more they talk. So don't dominate the conversation. I mean, you want to answer the questions they ask you. You don't want to feel like a grilling session where you're just asking them question after question after question. You know, it's not 60 minutes or an interrogation. It's a conversation. So go ahead and answer their questions. But I found a great way to turn things around is after they ask you, where are you from? What do you do? Do you have kids? Anything they ask you, answer it. Be a real person having a real conversation. Answer the question and then turn around and just say, how about you? How about you is a great way to get them back on track of talking and just have a conversation. So listen more than you talk. Number five, and this is a pet peeve, know what you do. Don't be surprised. People are going to ask you, probably the very first thing they're going to ask you is, so what do you do? Don't be shocked by that. Don't fumble around like, and for goodness sake, do not say, well, it's kind of complicated. Listen, I'm not that interested in you. I just met you. I'm not sure I want to commit to working through the complication that is what you do. So don't tell me it's complicated because, man, I am tuning out. As soon as you say, well, it's complicated, people are done. And frankly, if you don't know what you do and you can't explain it, how in the world do you expect me to understand it? So practice having a short, concise statement. I help this kind of person or this kind of business do these things, solve this problem. I help these people solve this problem. Simple as that. Listen, you don't need to explain all the intricacies, all the nuances, all the variations. If they want to know more, people will say, oh, tell me more. And then you can tell them more. But just get something back to them. They're just trying to start a conversation. The easiest conversation, most common conversation starter is, what do you do? So hit them back with a simple sentence. And then here's your big moment. How about you? Right? And now you're in a conversation. Okay. So number 5, know what you do. All right. Number 6, split up. Come on, divide and conquer. I know you came with someone, but you already know that person. You don't need to stay together the whole time. You don't need a wingman. This isn't a bar. This is a chance to make connections for your business. So split up. You already know each other. Go meet new people. You'll literally be able to meet twice as many people if you split up. And definitely if you came in a group of, say, 4, 5, or 6 people from the same company, don't just go and huddle around your own table. Go ahead and split up. Now, maybe you stay in pairs then, or you can start a conversation at a table with a couple of you, but branch out, spread out. You don't need to eat together, walk together, be together all day long. Again, you already know each other. So split up, number 6. All right, number 7, invite yourself. Invite yourself. If you see a group of people talking, walk right up, kind of edge up to the edge of the circle. They're going to let you in. They're going to say, hey, nice to meet you. Come on in. And you can just stick your hand out and go, I'm Ken. Nice to meet you. The people are there to meet people as well. You're all there for the same reasons. You want to learn from the speakers on the stage and you want to meet other people attending the event. So go ahead and invite yourself in. Just say, may I join you? They're going to say yes. They're going to say yes. And if they don't, hey, look, there's 200 people in the room. Go walk up to another circle until you find somebody who says yes when you ask if you can join them. But chances are they're going to say yes. So don't worry about that fear of rejection. All right. I've got 3 more tips for you, and we're going to cover those on the other side of the break. Stay with me on the Clarity Advisor Show.
Is your business where you want it to be or on track to get there? Clarity Advisors helps business leaders improve communication and get your team aligned and engaged for greater success. We specialize in helping you streamline your sales and operating systems to improve efficiency and grow your profits. Call or text Ken at 616-822-2998 to have a complimentary 12-minute call to see what some clarity could do for you.
And welcome back to the Clarity Advisor Show. Today we're talking about doing networking right, getting away from that weird pressure to go find clients and hand out business cards and getting back to just making connections, just meeting people. Tip number 1, be friendly. All right, we left off with tip number 7, invite yourself. Step up to a group of people, stick out your hand, say, hey, may I join you? I'm Ken. Nice to meet you. Now, if your name's not Ken, don't say I'm Ken. Insert your name. Okay, number 8, invite others. Just like you invite yourself, invite others. You see somebody standing by themselves, walk over to them. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Ken. They probably got a big old badge on with their name on it. Say, oh, you're Ray. Nice to meet you. Or you're Sam. Nice to meet you. And then, of course, what do you do, right? That's how it's going to go. If you're at a stand-up high top table kind of thing, and you see somebody walking by, invite them in. If you see somebody kind of edging up to the edge of your circle, like you're doing with number 7, invite yourself. Number 8, invite them in. You see someone, just say, hey, you want to join us? Yeah, of course they want to join you. They're trying to figure out how to get in and they don't have access to these pro tips. So they don't know to invite themselves. So they're waiting for an invitation. So go ahead and invite them. All right, number 9, keep it moving. Yes, you want to make a genuine connection, but you don't necessarily want to have a 45-minute conversation with somebody. Because if it's that good, if it's feeling like, wow, I would actually like to have a 45-minute conversation with this person, you can say, hey, this is great. I can tell we need to continue this. Let's set a time for coffee or a phone call or a Zoom call or whatever it is. Let's follow up and do something else. And then you can just break it off, smile and say, hey, listen, this has been great. Let's definitely get coffee. I know you want to meet some other people. I want to meet some other people. So it's been great talking with you, and walk away. And if it hasn't been great talking with them and you don't want to follow up, then you don't need to add that part about getting coffee. You can just stop when there's a natural pause, or when it's your turn to talk, you just say, hey, listen, it's been great talking with you. I know you want to meet some other people. I do too. So I'll let you run. Thanks. And then walk away. It's not that hard, but keep it moving. Now, I'm not saying it's move, 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 meet people, meet people, meet people. But in a room of 200 people over the course of, say, an hour and a half reception at the evening of a conference, you want to try to meet 10 or 15 people, and have decent conversations with 10 or 15 people. And you can do that if you have a few minutes and then move on. So don't feel like you got to be stuck. Like, oh, what if I pick the wrong person? I'm going to be there with them all night. Just, hey, listen, I know you want to meet other people. I do too. And boom, that's it. You're out. All right. And tip number 10, connect everywhere. As I said, a big part of these conferences and even lunch speaking things, a big part of it is meeting the other people that came to do that thing, whether it's a lunch presentation or a conference. Presumably there's some tribe here that you're part of. It's people that have a similar interest to you, or they wouldn't be there where you are. And obviously the other part of the benefit of doing those things is the actual information coming from the stage, from those speakers. But don't minimize the value of meeting other people. And especially at a conference, you've got to be ready all the time. You've usually got, again, those big lanyards with your name on it. So you know who's in the conference. If you're in the lobby of the hotel and you see somebody with your same big old lanyard on, they're part of your group. Hey, walk over. You want to grab some breakfast? You want to get a coffee? Or in the evening, you see somebody standing at the bar or maybe waiting in the lobby by the elevators, whatever. Just, again, invite yourself. Walk up. If you see them and you're already talking to somebody, invite them over. You're on all the time. Now, let's say you're like, oh, I'm an introvert. You're killing me here, Ken. I can't be on all the time. Well, I would say there's like on stage and backstage. And when you're anywhere but your room, you're on stage, whether you're at the bar or you're in the break room, or I'm sorry, in the like reception room, or you're in the hallway at a break, or you're in the ballroom waiting for the talk to begin. You're sitting at a table, you're on. Get ready to meet people and have those conversations. If you need a break, I get it. As an introvert, people can really drain you. So go back to your room. It's okay to go back to your room. It's okay to back to your room after lunch. It's okay to go back to your room in between speakers and miss somebody or miss a breakout session or whatever. Totally fine. Go back to your room, get some energy back, have some peace, have some quiet, have some downtime. And when you're ready to go back on stage, head back out. But there's opportunities everywhere. So make sure that you're taking advantage of all those. So those are my 10 tips to rework networking and do networking right. Number 1, be friendly, make friends. All right. Number 2, be curious. Number 3, be genuine. Number 4, listen more than you talk. Number 5, know what you do. Please know what you do. And don't say it's complicated. Make it simple so it's not complicated. Number 6, split up. Come on, divide and conquer. You already know the people you came with. Number 7, invite yourself. Go ahead, step into a group. Number 8, invite others into your group. 9, keep it moving. You don't have to be stuck with someone. Even if it's a great conversation, you can continue it offline, another day, another time, after the conference, whatever. Go meet more people. And number 10, connect everywhere. You're on stage. You're there to meet people. Yeah, you're there for the content coming from the stage, the literal stage where the presenters are, but you're also on stage with all these other people figuratively, and you want to make connections at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, after dinner, at drinks. So, all right. Since I'm sure you've enjoyed this so much, good news, I've got 3 bonus tips for you. All right, those were my top 10. Here's some bonus tips. Number 1 bonus tip, eat before or after, especially at a reception. You don't need, not lunch, it's a different story. Obviously, you're there for lunch. But if it's a reception, you don't need to eat from the little buffet. And if you do, don't use your hands. Get a fork, get some chopsticks, get whatever you need. Nobody wants to see you wiping your hands on the napkin and reaching out to shake hands. So nobody wants to see you eating, talking with your mouth full. So just skip the food. It's not going to kill you. There's plenty of food around at these things. There's plenty of places to go to eat. You'll get food. So don't eat. At least don't eat with your hands. All right, number 2, easy on the drinks. You know all the crazy things that can happen when alcohol is involved. So go easy. Nothing wrong with having a drink or 2, but this isn't like a bar and you're not there to party. So let's just take it easy. And if you're uncomfortable with drinks or you want to stop after 1 or 2, a good thing I've come upon is getting a club soda with a lime. It looks like it could be anything in that glass. So if you're feeling like, oh, I don't want people to feel weird because I'm not drinking or no, make a big deal about it. 1, they're probably not even paying any attention to what you're doing. So relax. And number 2, if you do feel a little self-conscious, just get that club soda with lime and you can fit right in regardless of what's in there. So number 2, easy on the drinks. And number 3, follow up. Hey, we're there to make friends, right? If you want to have long-term relationships with these friends, you got to follow up. send them a LinkedIn message, give them a phone call, send them an email. If you got their phone number, send them a text. You don't want to wait for them to reach out to you because they're not going to. Again, people do not have access to these pro tips, so they don't know to follow up. So they're not gonna. So it's up to you to follow up. If you thought it was a great connection, follow up with them. And don't take it personally if they don't follow up with you. You're like, oh, I thought we had this great talk and then they didn't even follow up with me. Hey, everybody's busy. Most people don't know how to do this. So go ahead and follow up with them. All right. So those are my 3 bonus tips. Easy on the food, easy on the drink, and follow up. So in the end, these events all come down to being friendly. You're there to make friends. Just be friendly. Take the pressure off yourself. Do what people do in a normal situation when they're trying to connect. Don't put pressure on yourself to make sales or find prospects or all these other things. Just be a nice person and you'll meet other nice people. And who knows, somebody's going to turn out to be a great contact or they're going to know somebody who's a great contact. So get out there and network the right way. Take these 10 steps and enjoy networking. And we'll see you next time on the Clarity Advisor Show. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Clarity Advisor Show. Clarity Advisors is a speaking, training, and consulting firm specializing in helping you simplify your sales and operating systems to improve efficiency and grow your profits. Connect with Clarity Advisors today to learn more about how they can help you improve communication and get your team aligned and engaged for greater success.